welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Alright guys, I am happy to report that I have started work on my 1986 FJ1200 project. I bought this classic Yamaha in December as part of a 3 motorcycle deal. I've been working on the other 2 bikes first to get them out on the road and make sure that those are ready to go. Those 2 projects were a little bit less involved, and I wanted to tackle the easy ones first. In this video, I'll go over the progress that I have made so far and the jobs that I've tackled so far on this Yamaha. We're in the middle of winter right now. We're actually expecting a blizzard this weekend, and so I'm actually trying to get as much work done as I can on this bike prior to the weather breaking and us getting some longer term nice weather so that I can take this project out on the road and make sure everything runs nicely and have it ready for springtime. I have previously done an introduction video on this project, so if you want to see the starting point for this project, you can click the link above. If you like great motorcycle content and you want to help support this channel, please consider becoming a member. Members get bonus perks like early access to new videos and bonus content on this channel, and your support will help me continue to make great quality motorcycling videos for you to enjoy. And I just want to give a special shout out to all of my members and subscribers and those of you who participate in the comment section of this channel. Thank you guys so much. I could not do this without you. One of the first things I noticed when I initially looked at this project was that there was no pressure behind the clutch lever when I pulled it. To address that, what I did was I pulled the top of the master cylinder off and I cleaned out the reservoir. There was definitely some residue in there, some old crystallized brake fluid. I cleaned that all out and I put fresh fluid in it, and then I continued to pump the lever here until I got some pressure behind it. At that point, I removed the slave cylinder here. It's got 3 8mm bolts that hold the slave cylinder in. I removed those bolts, pulled the slave cylinder out, and then I used the pressurized fluid here to push the piston out of the slave cylinder. Once that was out, I could clean up the piston, I could clean up the rubber seals, I could also clean up the interior of the slave cylinder. And again, there was gross residual brake fluid in there that had crystallized. But I got the piston cleaned up, I got the bore of the slave cylinder cleaned up, and I reinstalled the rubber seals. Those look to be in fairly decent condition, so I reassembled everything and I bled out the slave cylinder, and I'm happy to report I don't have any leaks and I have nice pressure at my clutch lever and everything is functioning like it should. The next thing I did was clean and lubricate the chain on the motorcycle. That was kind of grungy when I picked the bike up. I'm happy to report that the chain looks great. It doesn't have any kinks in it. It doesn't have any tight spots or loose spots in the chain, and I think that'll be fine. The next thing that I knew I needed to address was the brakes, both front and back on the motorcycle. I started with the rear brake. I tested it out and I was able to operate the brake effectively, and it wasn't hanging up in the rear, so that was a good sign. It means I didn't have to rebuild my rear caliper. And what I did was clean out the old fluid from the master cylinder and put new fluid in the reservoir, bleed out the system, and now the brakes in the rear function just as they should. Moving on to the front brakes, to access these easily, I did remove my windshield, so that's off currently. The front brake master cylinder reservoir was also very grungy inside. That took some thorough cleaning, and I cleaned that out, got that all nice. And then I put fresh brake fluid in it, and I proceeded to bleed out the front brakes. Once there was all new fluid in the front brake system, I pulled each caliper off, and then I squeezed the brake lever multiple times and actually pushed the pistons out, so I had some access to clean them, and I cleaned them up. My pistons look great, and so I was able to lubricate them just a little bit with some brake caliper grease and just push them back in by hand. I did that on each side, and now the bike is rollable. They're still hanging up just a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more friction than I want to have on them, so I may pull the calipers again and work those pistons a little bit more until they free up completely when I release the brakes. If the brakes continue to hang up just a little bit, I will order a rebuild kit for each of the calipers and I'll go in and just rebuild those and make sure that everything in there is new and that they're functioning 100% as they should. This FJ came with what looks to be a relatively new battery. I am able to put it on the charger and get a green light on the charger, so that's good. I'm also able to turn the key on and check that all my lights function as they should. That's another step in the process here. My brake lights function as they should. My horn functions properly. My headlight and turn signals all function as they should. And so that's a good sign. That's just another system that I need to check out before I get it out on the road anyways, and I'm glad to have that done. As far as next steps go, I'm going to check and make sure that the air cleaner and the air box are good and clean. I may get to that this afternoon, I'm not sure. And then once that is done, I'm going to pull the gas tank off. I'm going to drain all of the old gas out of it and dispose of that. While the gas tank is off, I'll probably hook up a fuel bottle to the carburetors and actually try to start this bike. Because this bike doesn't have a Kickstarter, I'll probably pull the cover off here and pull these spark plugs. I'll spray a little bit of WD-40 down in each of the cylinders. I'll let that sit overnight, and then I'll try to turn the engine over, just make sure that the engine spins freely before I engage the electric starter on it. Another thing I noticed when I picked this bike up was that the shifter was very difficult to shift, and so I have pulled the linkage off of the bike, and I've actually cleaned and greased the post that the shifter goes over. Once that was lubricated, the bike shifts up and down through the gears very easily. While I was working on the slave cylinder of the bike, I also pulled the oil filter out of the motorcycle, and I checked that the spring and the washer and the oil filter are all correct and positioned properly on the shaft. Everything looked good. The oil looked very clean in there. And so what I'll do prior to starting the bike is just double check my oil level, make sure that that's good. Just a quick update on my other two projects. My Vulcan 2000 is finished up. On that machine, I replaced the front wheel bearings as well as the front tire and got those remounted. I also did a full service on the bike where I changed the engine oil and filter. I also changed the brake fluid in the bike, front and back. I cleaned out the master cylinder reservoirs, front and back, made sure that those were good and clean and they have fresh fluid in them, and that the brakes release like they should, and everything is functioning properly on that motorcycle. I've also detailed that bike out, and I was actually able to film a review for that motorcycle, and if you want to see that, you can click the link above. Moving on to the Burgman 650 project. That one is going well. I was able to get new tires installed on that motorcycle, both front and back. Since I had extensive maintenance records with that machine, I was able to see that the service on the engine oil and filter, as well as the transmission oil and the oil in the rear of the bike, had all been completed fairly recently, and so they weren't due to be done yet. I did check and make sure that the air filter on that machine was good. That was a new air filter as well. I replaced the brake fluid front and back on the Burgman 650. I also pushed the pistons out of the calipers, and I cleaned those and pushed those back in, and now it brakes like it should. The brakes don't hang up front or back, and it was safe to take out on the road. Once I got the Burgman out on the road, I noticed that I had an FI light coming on, and that is tied to the voltage charging system. I also noticed that while the bike charged at around 13.5 volts while idling, as soon as I started to give it gas and the RPMs rose, my voltage dropped into the 12 volt range. So I know that bike needs a regulator rectifier for the charging system. I have put that on order. That should actually arrive this afternoon, and I will get that mounted on the bike, and hopefully that takes care of my FI light. I think that's what was tripping the light ultimately. Other than the FI light coming on, the Burgman ran like it should, it shifted like it should. I've been able to put 50 or 60 miles on it. Everything ran like it should, and I've actually been able to film the ride portion of the review video for the Burgman 650. So stay tuned for that review coming up shortly. All right, guys, that wraps up this shop update video here at John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. I will keep you guys posted on the progress that I make on this FJ1200, as well as the progress that I make on the Burgman 650. I'd love to know what you guys think. If there are any FJ1200 fans out there, or Burgman 650 fans out there, or Vulcan 2000 fans out there, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.